Hey, how's everyone doing? Today I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Zetsubou no Shima Easter egg solo and co-op. Doing this Easter egg will give you the third gate worm needed for the super Easter egg in the main menu. And before we get started, I want to let you know that the majority of this Easter egg involves having to build specific things, so I'll cover those first and then get into the main steps. Any of the buildables can also be done in any order too. The first thing you need to be aware of is the individual player challenges. In solo, there are going to be 3 challenges you have to complete for this Easter egg to work, and you can view them here to the right of spawn. There are easy challenges and there are hard challenges, and the 3 challenges assigned to you are completely random. If you don't like your challenges, you can always restart the game until you get easy ones, or you can look up guides for ones you don't know how to do. The more people in your game, the more challenges there will be in total to complete. But each player will only have 3, and all of them must be done no matter how many people you have in your game. I'll explain a little more as to why this will be important later, but for now, let's work on the power. To turn on the power, there's a couple things you need to do. There's going to be buckets you need to find in various locations around the map, and they glow slightly blue around the top. In solo, this is super easy because there's always going to be one in spawn, and when you find a bucket, there's going to be 3 little ponds that have different color water: green, blue, and purple. Blue water can be found to the left of Lab A, green water can be found behind Lab B, and purple water can be found in the bunker through this door and down these stairs. To get the purple water, power must be turned on though. When you grab a bucket, run over to any color of water and go inside Lab A or Lab B and come to this funnel sticking out of the wall to dump your water into it. When you do this, if you run past the bunker, you'll notice one of the 2 red lights on top is now green. This means that power is 50% complete, and at this point you'll need to grab the water again and go to the other lab that you didn't put the water in yet and put your water in that one. Go back to the bunker and both lights will be green. You just need to interact with the door and it will open. We're not done with power though, as you only provided power to the bunker door. Inside the bunker on the left and through this door, there will be a power switch that can only be turned on after unclogging the turbine in front of it. To do this, break the webs in the water and a lockdown will start, spawning a bunch of zombies. All you have to do is survive killing all the zombies that spawn while periodically coming up in these areas for air, and when it's over, you can pick up a part to Pack-a-Punch and turn on the power switch. The part for Pack-a-Punch can be placed in the main hub of the bunker directly in front of the door you use to leave power. I'll be showing you how to build Pack-a-Punch later because the pieces can be gotten by doing other things that are required and is not necessary unless you want Pack-a-Punched weapons. So when we come to an area where there is a part, I'll tell you quickly how to get it and where to place it. Next, we're going to work on the skull of Nansapwe, and this is required to do the Easter egg. And to start, there are 4 altars you need to do sacrifices at, but there is a catch. On each of the altars, there will be a symbol, and you need to remember which symbol is at which altar. If you come over to your challenge totem in the center, there are going to be 4 skulls you can pick up that have those same symbols. You need to find a skull that has that symbol of the altar you want to do your ritual at, and pick up the skull, then bring it to the altar. Now place the skull on the altar and a time-based ritual will begin similar to Shadows of Evil. But this time zombies will spawn out of green portals, and the zombies that are glowing green will try to attack the altar and prevent the ritual from completing. You just need to kill them until the ritual is over, then pick the skull back up and bring it back to where you got it, place it back down, then rinse and repeat 3 more times for a total of 4 rituals. The altars are located and spawn here, to the left of power through this door in the bunker, and down the stairs another level in the lab at the back, and finally at the plane crash site where the trap is to the left of spawn. When you have all 4 skulls placed down in the main challenge hub, a doorway will open to where you can do a final ritual. Go down the stairs and interact with the skull. Keepers will spawn and you need to kill them until they all despawn, and when that happens you can pick up the skull of Nansapwe and leave the room. The first thing you need to build is the zombie shield, and there are 3 parts and each part will have 3 spawn locations. The first part can be found at Lab A underneath the building on this pillar directly to the left of the Kuda wallby, across from the Kuda on this pillar, or directly to the right of that on this pillar. The second part can be found at Lab B on this tree next to the barrier going towards the bunker, going back down the hill on this tree directly in front of the other tree, and finally on this tree behind the previous one next to this barrier. The final part can be found in the anti-airgun room in this corner near where you plant a seed, on this pile of concrete in front of the window, and finally directly behind you on this pile of concrete. Next, I'll show you how to build the gas mask, and this is not required to have, but it severely helps in the boss fight and in general for spores. The first part can be found behind Lab B on this box next to the rock, on this box to the right of the green water, or on this box on the catwalk in front of the perk location. The second part can be found in this area that branches off from power here on this box, or on this rock to the left of the VMP. The third part can be found at the plane trap on this rock to the left of the box location, hanging on the plane at this entrance, or hanging on the plane at this other entrance. When you have all the parts for the shield and the gas mask, you can take them to the workbench in Lab A at the back or in the bunker to the right of the purple water. While you're at the purple water, if you melee these spider cocoons, a zombie will drop out with a part to the pack-a-punch. The drop rate of the part is random, so you could get it on your first try, or you could go through all of them before you get it. You can take the part back to the main hub of the bunker and place it here in front of the door you just came out of. Now we can build and upgrade the KT-4. This is required for the Easter egg, and the first part can be gotten by interacting with this panel inside of Lab A to get a cage to drop. When it drops, the door will open and you need to get a spider to run inside by being near the cage. So this is best done on a spider round. When the spider goes inside the cage, come back up to interact with the panel again, and it will come up extracting a purple liquid and killing the spider. You can then pick up the purple liquid next to the panel. The second part can be grabbed by coming down to Mule Kick in the lab inside the bunker and swimming all the way down to the very bottom to pick up this plant. Another part to Pack-a-Punch can be found here inside the water, and it will be in two different locations, but it's pretty easy to see. The part will then go inside the main hub near the door you just left. The final part to the KT-4 can be found by killing a zombie that is glowing green, and this can take some time because it's completely random as to when the zombie will spawn, but I have found that if you grab one of the other parts first, the glowing zombie is more likely to spawn earlier. When you kill the zombie, it will drop the part, and you can then take all the parts to the lab in the bunker and interact with this table. After a couple seconds, the KT-4 will be ready to be picked up. Upgrading the KT-4 into the Masamune isn't quite as easy though. To start, if you swim down by Mule Kick and come to where you picked up the plant, you can take out the skull of Nansapwe and mesmerize this wall to the right. This will reveal a spot where a seed can be planted, and you need to water it for 3 rounds in a row. But here's the catch. It can only be done by watering with rainbow water. To get rainbow water, come over to the fast travel location outside of Lab B in this water and spend the 500 points to go through the tunnel. Now, full disclosure here, I know that you grab the rainbow water around the halfway mark of being done with the tunnel, but for me, it's really hard for me to actually pinpoint exactly when the halfway mark is, so I usually count by color because there's blue lights and green lights. So I usually count when I see 2 green lights and 2 blue lights, then I start trying to spam my interact button to pick up the rainbow water. If this doesn't work for you, let me know down in the comments and I can try and help you out a little more. But I've never really understood this step, to be completely honest with you. So this is how I do it, and I get it every time. If you can't happen to get it, then yeah, just let me know. So when you do finally have the rainbow water, go down to the plant and water it every round for 3 rounds. Then on the 4th round, you'll be able to pick it up for the first of 3 upgrade parts. The second part can be grabbed by coming over to the far left of Lab A, and you need to shoot this blue webbing with the KT-4 to get them to disappear. When it does, you need to make your way through the tunnel. When you get there, a spider boss will spawn and you need to kill it. This boss is not hard. I used a death machine, but you can use anything like a dingo or a ray gun and you'll be fine. To kill the spider, you need to shoot its mouth when it's glowing greenish yellow and it will die. While you're doing this, the spider will spawn in more spiders and it will attack you with its legs. When the spider dies, a bridge will form in front of you and you need to run up to its mouth and pick up this fang, then continue on through like normal. The final part will be in Lab B. This is where you need to have your challenges done, and again in co-op, everyone needs to have their challenges done. When you do, come back down to where you received the challenges and periodically lightning will strike down. You'll need to be holding your shield out in front of you to get it electrified. It'll be pretty noticeable because you'll see the electricity in the visor, and once you have the electricity, run over to Lab B and melee this panel with your shield, and the cage will open. Step inside and you'll be brought down into a cramped room and you'll see skeletons. Inside the ribcage of this skeleton, you need to pick up this blue vial, then wait for the cage to bring you all the way back up. Bring all the parts over to where you built the KT4, but this time use this workbench, and after a couple seconds, your KT4 turned into the Masamune will be ready for pickup. Shop smart, shop S-smart. Now that I've gone through all that, I told you I'd quickly go over Pack-a-Punch, and in a couple of the buildables, I showed you where to get Pack-a-Punch parts and where to place them. After each part is placed, water will drain from Pack-a-Punch and the door will open. In my timestamps, I will have it more detailed as to when a part is picked up also. Now we're on to the actual Easter egg, and it's fairly simple and quick. Basically, you need to get 3 cogs, and that's it. So let's start. Come over to the purple water in the bunker and pull out the skull to mesmerize this picture on the wall, and it will reveal another half of the picture. Don't put away your skull, and as quickly as you can, come over to the entrance to the bunker and mesmerize this wall to reveal a hidden room where the cogs will go. Now you can get the cogs, and for the first one, you want to get your electrical shield again, so go wait at the challenge area for lightning to strike, then come over to the zipline at Lab A and melee the panel with your shield. The panel will have an electrical effect, and you need to ride the zipline while it has this effect. While you're directly over the dock in an area where you know you can drop down without dying, press whatever button is your melee button and you will fall off the zip line onto the dock. In solo, this sucks because let's say you press it too early, well, you'll fall in the water and you'll die. Your whole run will be ruined and you'll need to start another game. So just be super careful and you'll be fine. When you drop down, look behind you and the cog will be laying on the floor. Pick it up and run the opposite way to get back out to the main map. The second cog requires you to get anywhere but here and activate it. About 95% of the time you'll be brought here above Lab A, and if you don't come here, activate it again and you will definitely be brought back here guaranteed on the second try. When you do get here, look behind you on the ground and the cog will be there. Pick it up and jump down. The third and final one is extremely difficult. For this you need to get an anti-aircraft bullet or an AA bullet, and to get this you need to plant a seed and water it with blue water for 3 rounds. But after each time you water it, you need to shoot it with the KT4. It can be upgraded or unupgraded, it doesn't really matter. So plant the seed, water it, and then shoot it, and you have to do this 3 times in 3 different rounds. Then on the 4th round, the AA bullet should come out. Sometimes this doesn't work though, so I recommend having 2 or 3 seeds active at a time, and when you get the bullet, bring it over to the anti-air gun in the bunker, but don't do anything yet. I swear on my own life that this part sucks because it's buggy. It took me 15 minutes to do this because it just wouldn't work. So basically, a plane will fly in this area periodically, and what you're supposed to do is load the bullet in the back of the gun, and then shoot the plane when it's at a certain point in the sky. The area of which you're supposed to interact with the gun sometimes will not work, so be patient with it. Take the bullet towards the back and load it in by pressing your interact button. You'll know if it worked because you'll hear a loud sound, and once you hear it, step back and wait for the plane to start coming around. When you see the plane, stand as close as you can to the back of the gun while pressed up against it and line the barrel up with the plane. When it's pretty in line, shoot the gun and the plane will blow up. If you miss, you'll need to get another bullet. When the plane blows up, you'll see a very inconspicuous piece of plane smoking and falling out of the sky towards the map, and you need to watch exactly where it goes and find it. When you see that piece, it will be another cog and you can pick it up. The location of where it drops in every game will be different, but it's not hard to find, as even if you're not looking, it will still be smoking on the ground, so it's easy to see. When you have all 3 of your cogs, come over to that wall in the bunker and you'll be able to place your cogs on this machine. When you exit the room, the elevator will be open next to it and you can start the boss fight. The only thing you'll really need for this boss fight is the Masamune and you'll be fine. When you interact with the elevator panel, it'll bring you down and 3 vines will be on the floor blocking your path. Shoot the glowing part of the vines with the Masamune and they'll retreat into the walls, clearing your path, and a door will open. Here's where the boss fight begins, and I promise this is really easy. The giant tree monster at the back has 4 arms that periodically start to glow, and you need to shoot those parts with the Masamune like you did the vine. A bunch of spiders and thrashers will spawn, and you honestly don't need to kill them. You can simply just train them around, and the tree monster only attacks with his arms by slamming them down. If you happen to get hit, he can down you, so be careful of that, but this is easily avoidable by sticking to the back and training around the stairs. You just need to be constantly looking at his arms to see if a portion is glowing, then shoot it when it is glowing. Doing this 4 times will finish the boss fight, and congratulations, you've done the Zetsubou no Shima Easter egg, and doing this Easter egg will give you the Seeds of Doubt achievement. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I know that this guide might be a little confusing, but Zetsubou is just a confusing map, especially with the whole Easter egg just being a fetch quest. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments, and my next video is going to be the Garad Krovi Easter egg. Have a great day, bye.